Good day everyone, this is Zoe Krista Noon from BSA 12 and I will be discussing the first chapter of Intermediate Accounting Volume 1 entitled The Cash and Cash Equivalents. I will be tackling about the basic concepts of the said topic.
We will be answering the questions what, how, and where by discussing their definition and examples, their measurement, and classification.
Let us start with cash. Cash, in the point of view of a layman, simply means money. But in the accounting industry, the meaning of cash may be complex. According to Accounting Tools and Investopedia, cash is a legal tender, currency in coins in exchange of goods, services, and debts. As stated by Valix 2020, cash in accounting includes money and other negotiable instrument that is payable in money and acceptable by the bank for deposit and immediate credit. Examples of cash are currency and coins, checks excluding post-dated ones, bank drafts, and money orders. There are three items included in cash: cash in hand, cash in bank, and cash funds. Cash in hand includes undeposited cash and checks waiting to be deposited. Cash in bank includes demand deposit or checking account and savings account. Cash funds include petty cash, payroll, and dividend funds. In accordance to Philippine Accounting Standard 1, paragraph 66, cash can only be recognized as cash if it is unrestricted in use. This means that it can be readily available for use.
Let us move on to cash equivalents. Philippine Accounting Standard 7, paragraph 6 defines cash equivalents as short-term, highly liquid investments that are readily convertible into cash and so near the maturity that they present insignificant risk of changes in value because of changes in interest rates. The standard further states that only highly liquid investments that are acquired 3 months before a maturity can be qualified as cash equivalents. Examples of cash equivalents are treasury bills, specifically 3-month BSP treasury bill or long-term BSP treasury bill acquired 3 months before maturity. Equity securities are not to be considered as a cash equivalent unless these are preference shares with specified redemption date and acquired 3 months before the date of redemption.
How do we measure and classify this?
Cash and cash equivalents are to be measured in their face amount, also called as par value or simply par. Cash and cash equivalents are classified as assets. It is one of the 3 main asset classifications. Identification of classification can also vary on the purpose of the cash and cash equivalent. All in all, according to Philippine Institute of Certified Public Accountants, Philippine Interpretations Committee, cash comprises cash in hand and demand deposits, and cash equivalents are short-term, highly liquid investments that are readily convertible to known amounts of cash and that are subject to an insignificant risk of changes in value.
Let us answer a sample problem to further understand this topic.
Argentina Company reported the following accounts on December 31, 2020. Cash in hand of 1 million, petty cash fund of 50,000, Security Bank current account 2 million, PNB current account 1,500,000, an overdraft of 200,000 from BDO current account, 120 days BSP Treasury bill of 3 million, BPI time deposit of 90 days for 2 million, and a bond sinking fund for 2,500,000. We should compute the total amount of cash and cash equivalents. To further determine which are the cash and cash equivalents, we need the following additional information. The cash on hand included a customer post-dated check of 150,000 and postal money order of 50,000. The petty cash fund included unreplenished petty cash vouchers for 10,000 and an employee check for 5,000 dated January 31, 2021. The PPI time deposit is set aside for acquisition of land to be made in early January 2021, and bond sinking fund is set aside for payment of bonds payable due on December 31, 2021. Now let us determine which of the following are included in cash and cash equivalents. Cash in hand is included. Petty cash funds are also included. Security Bank current account of 2 million is also included, since current accounts are also known as checking accounts, which are involved in cash in bank. The same goes for PNB current account. For the overdraft of 200,000, it is not a cash, it is a current liability. BSP Treasury bill of 120 days for 3 million is also not a cash, since for cash equivalents, the limit is for 90 days or 3 months. But in this case, it is 120 days, so it is still considered as a short-term investment. For BPI time deposit of 90 days, 2 million, it is not considered as a cash equivalent or cash, since the purpose for it is to acquire land, as stated from the additional information. And lastly, bond sinking fund, it is included. Normally, bond sinking funds are not considered as cash, but because the purpose for this fund is already possible for the next year after accounting period, it will be included in it. So let us apply the other information. We have already eliminated in this slide the other information, since we already applied it prior to this. And likewise, we have already eliminated the accounts which are not specified as cash and cash equivalent. Let us apply the first one. Cash on hand included a customer post-dated check of 150,000 and a postal money order of 50,000. So here, we can see that the post-dated check must be eliminated from cash on hand, since we have discussed that post-dated checks are not part of cash. Thus, 150,000 must be deducted from 1 million, resulting to a net amount of 850,000. For the postal money order of 50,000, we must ignore it, since postal money orders are really part of cash. Let us move on to the second information. Petty cash fund included unreplenished petty cash vouchers for 10,000 and an employee check for 5,000 dated January 31, 2021. 10,000 must be deducted from the petty cash fund, since these are still unreplenished. And likewise for 5,000, which is a post-dated check, it must also be deducted, which will result to a net amount of petty cash fund of 35,000 pesos. For the last stage, which is computation, the following amounts listed are the net amounts and the amounts determined as cash and cash equivalents. We only have to add all of this, and we will result to total cash and cash equivalents of 6,885,000. The following are the citations for the references used for this presentation.
Basically, that is cash and cash equivalents. It is one of the current assets being studied by accounting students like me. And what was discussed was only the basic concepts, so deeper understanding of the topic is needed to properly determine this kind of asset. So that's all for this presentation. Thank you everyone for listening, and I hope you learned a lot. Thank you very much.